Hello friends, welcome to the Azure DevOps tutorial series. In this tutorial, we will see how we create backlog or work item with Agile process. So in the previous tutorial, we have seen how we create the Azure board with the Agile process. So in this tutorial, we will see how we create the backlog and the work item into the Agile process. So let's go to the board which we have created in the last tutorial, and in that tutorial what we created two epics into the Agile process board and one feature which we have created into the last tutorial. Now in this tutorial we will see how we manage the backlog. So basically here you have to click on the backlog, and here we can see for the backlog there are two type of the tabs we can see. One is the planning and another is for the product backlog. So all these things we have understood in the previous tutorials where we have created backlog for the basic process. So it's similar to that. In the basic process we used to say these things as a sprint 1, 2, 3, and in this Agile process we call it as a iteration 1, 2 and the 3. So basically it is similar to that. Now let's create the epics, and whatever things we want to create we can create here. So what I will do, I will select the epics here, and now there are some epics is already created here. Now let's expand it, and we created the feature here. Now under this feature, as we know, we can create multiple type of the user story. Those we have seen in the last tutorial. As I told in the previous tutorial, we can create user story under the feature. So under this you can create user story here, user story 1, and if you want to assign to anyone you can assign that, and basically on what kind of the status you want to keep it as a new, or currently it is showing new. Once we will save with the new, other option we can see here. And what in which iteration you want to keep it, same you can do that, in iteration 1, 2 or the 3. We can give the description also, and apart from this we can give the discussion and acceptance criteria. So in the user story, as I explained, what is the user story is basically a work item which has some weightage, it tell about as per the user story, it here the story point, basically it based on that story point it tell how much is the weightage of that particular task. Basically in if it is a risky task, then we can give the user story based on that, something 5, 7, based on that, how company standard, based on that we can give the story point, and we can give the description. And basically from this user story, what is the acceptance criteria? Acceptance criteria is just suppose user story I am having as a create the login page. So what will be the acceptance criteria? The criteria will be is after once the status of this user story will be closed, that means we can get that login things in the website. So that is the acceptance criteria here. And it is similar, discussion is similar to if you want to do some discussion we can do that. And here is story point, what kind of the story point you want to give, the priority, and what is the risk of this user story, so that we can give from here. And other things are similar, what is the history, and if there is any link. So we are going to create this user story under this feature, that's why one link is already there as a parent. And here is the attachment, if we want to add any attachment, so we can do that. So that's it for the user story. What we can do, we can save and the close here, and once we save and close we can see here it is showing the user story. And instead of under this user story we can create the task and the bug. Let's create the task here. So what I can do, task 1 I can create, and other things will be the similar, basically user story point is applicable only the user story. We can see for others task, issue and other things we can't see that user story point. And what task is having other things which it is task is similar to the process which we have done in the basic process, the task we created similar to that. And what you can do, you can play around all these things task, bug and all these things you can create. So once you will do practice you will understand more about this, what all are the things are there. So you have to do practice for this. So like once we created the task, we can see like it is showing here, and if you want to create the bug also, we can create bug, and like this is the bug. So bug 1 I have created, and bug is also having the user story. And why it is having, basically because this bug is come from the existing feature the developer has done. Like developer start working on the user story, and the developer move it into the testing phase, then tester do it. That's why for bug also we have to give the user story point. Basically it tells us the weightage of the bug, like it's a risky bug or it's a small bug, kind of that we can do. That's why we have to give the story point. So we can do save and close, and we can see like it is showing here bug. In similar way we can do, and currently like we are assigning all these things into this iteration 1. That's why it is showing the iteration 1. And similar to that, like if you will click on this iteration 1, basically as we have explained all these things into the basic process, similar to that only, like we can give the set date, we can change the title, we can like give the start date, end date. So all these things we have already seen in the basic process. So basically like if we want to give any like what is the start date of this sprint and what is the end date of this sprint, so we can give that, save and close. So once we will do that, like it is start working from 12 to 26, means 10 working days. And from where it is defining this working days, when you will go into the setting, we can see like how many work days are given. So we are taking weekdays. If any company is working for Saturday or Sunday, so based on that we can select all these things. So like based on that we define our planning, and once we close this, so from this tab, basically view option, we can come with the planning, like we can see the planning. So like and even if you want to create the new sprint, so basically it is called as a iteration in the agile process. So you can create the iteration, or what we can say, like we can create the new sprint for this, and based on that it will take for the 10 working day. So these common things we have seen in the previous tutorial as well. And like for your like knowledge improvement on the same, what you can do, like you can play around while doing this one, then you will get more practice on this, like how we can manage, and how like task, bug, user story, issues, and all these things we can manage, and how we can work all those things. So you have to start work on this and see like how it work and how it is helpful for you. So basically that's it for this tutorial. If you have any question and doubt, please comment. Thank you.